All right, so this time I'm going to look at the Ancient Gods logic grid puzzle. This is on Brainzilla, so you can give this one a shot. I liked this puzzle. This is one of the first harder ones that I did, and it was really useful for me because I'm kind of familiar enough with mythology to know when I got something wrong, so I could kind of go back and double check. This is also the first problem where I had to do notes on a piece of paper to figure out the answer. So you'll see I'm going to kind of do that in a little bit. So let's jump in. So first off, neither Aphrodite nor the god of war were called Mercury. So Aphrodite is not called Mercury, and the god of war was not called Mercury. Second clue that we have, Zeus was worshipped the day after Hermes and the day before Venus. So Zeus was the day after Hermes. So that tells me that Zeus couldn't have been the first day, and Hermes can't be the last day, because if he's the last day, Zeus can't be after him. Okay, and then also this clue tells us that Zeus was the day before Venus. So Zeus can't be on Friday, because then Venus wouldn't be able to be after him. And Venus can't be on Tuesday, because then Zeus wouldn't be able to be before her. Okay, so we got that one. This also tells us a couple of other things, right? So Hermes and Venus are on either side of Zeus, right? So that means that Hermes cannot be Venus. And then also Venus obviously can't be Zeus, right? If he comes before her. So that can't be a thing either. So we can kind of eliminate both of those things. Obviously, Zeus can't be Hermes because they're in the same category. All right, so that was helpful. Next, either Aries was war or he was known as Jupiter. So I'm going to check Aries. I don't know anything about him being Jupiter or war, but I do know from this clue that war cannot be Jupiter, right? So Jupiter cannot be the god of war. So I can at least get rid of that one. All right, 4, the god of poetry was either called Aphrodite or worshipped on a Wednesday. So Aphrodite could be poetry. Poetry could be a Wednesday, so that doesn't help, right? But I can conclude that Aphrodite was not worshipped on a Wednesday, so I can at least get rid of that one. All right, Friday and Tuesday weren't good days for poetry. That's a nice one. So poetry did not happen on Tuesday or Friday. So we can get rid of that one. Great. Jupiter was 2 days after the god of war. So Jupiter was 2 days after the god of war. So Jupiter's not the god of war. I already have that marked off. And if it's 2 days after, that means Jupiter can't have been on Tuesday or Wednesday, right? And then the god of war, right, was going to have to be on either Monday or Tuesday. So he can't be on Thursday or Friday. Okay. And then the last one is that Mercury was worshipped the day before the god of thunder. So Mercury is not the god of thunder. All right. And they were the day before the god of thunder. So Mercury can't be on Friday. And the god of thunder can't be on Tuesday because that would prevent Mercury from being before them. All right. And those are kind of all the clues that we have right now. We don't have anything that's true. We just have a lot of things that are false. So we're going to kind of see what we can do with this to figure out some more stuff. Typically, when I do this, I would go back through all of the clues and see if this narrowed anything down for me that I could figure out a little bit more from it. But for right now, what I'm going to try to do is I'm going to switch over to my note-taking method. Okay, so what I noticed about these clues is that they gave me a lot of information about different people and what their relationship to one another was. Okay, so like the first thing they told me was that Hermes was the day before Zeus and that Mercury was the day after Zeus, right? So I know that Hermes had to come before Zeus and that Venus was after Zeus, right? So this is the first piece of information that I have. Okay, so when I think about this in terms of days, so what this tells me is because these 3 go in order and I only have 4 days, right? Either Tuesday is somebody who comes before Hermes. Hermes is on Wednesday, Zeus is Thursday, Venus is Friday. Or Hermes has to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and somebody else is after them on Friday. So what that first is going to help me narrow down is that Hermes is going to have to be either Monday or Tuesday, right? Venus is going to have to either be Thursday or Friday, and Zeus is going to have to be one of those 2 days in the middle. Okay, so that's going to help out. So when I come back over here and take a look at this, right, Hermes we said would have to be either Tuesday or Wednesday, so he can't be Thursday, right? Venus is going to have to be one of the last 2 days, so she can't be Wednesday. And then Zeus has to be one of the 2 middle days. We already have that. Okay, All right, so that is helping us out a little bit. Okay, so that's the first one of the clues that we have that relate days with each other. So I'm going to go through and I want to figure out what other ones do we have that talk about days. This one doesn't, this one doesn't, this one does. So Jupiter was 2 days after the god of war. So Jupiter is 2 days after the god of war. So when I think about that one, right, what this is telling me is that there's the god of war, somebody else is between them. So I'm just going to put a little X there. And then there was Jupiter. Okay. And similar logic to what we just said, that means that, right, it's either going to be Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, or Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So war has to be on either Tuesday or Wednesday, and Jupiter has to be on either Thursday or Friday. Okay, so let's check that. So war has to be on Tuesday or Wednesday. I already had that. Jupiter, where's Jupiter? Jupiter's Thursday or Friday. I had that. Oh, but you know what I just noticed while I was looking in this particular box, right? We said Venus has to be Thursday or Friday, and Jupiter has to be Thursday or Friday, right? So Thursday and Friday are already taken between these two somehow. So I can I can cross out all of these guys, right? Because if these two are on Thursday and Friday, that means these two have to be on Monday and Tuesday. So cool. That helped me out a little bit. Not super much, but it did help. All right, so then the last clue that I have with days is that Mercury was worshipped the day before the god of thunder. So Mercury is the day before the god of thunder. So Mercury is the day before thunder. So this one doesn't give me quite as much, right? Because it could be like Tuesday, Wednesday, Mercury's Thursday, or it could be, Tuesday, Mercury's Wednesday, or it could be Mercury's Tuesday, right? So the fact that there's only two of them makes it a little bit less helpful than the other ones were where they had 3 spots. Okay, so we have this sort of worked out. So now what I want to do is I want to start tying these things together. Okay, so I'm going to start with this clue and this clue, where I'm going to say, okay, if both of these things have to be true, then that means that either the god of war was whoever this person before Hermes was, which would make Hermes our skipped person, and Zeus would have to be Jupiter. Or Hermes could be the god of war. This would be our skipped person, and this would be Jupiter. Or Zeus would be the god of war. This would be our skipped person, and then our last guy would be Jupiter. So in this circumstance, this would be Hermes being on the first day, right? And then somebody else being at the end. This one would be Venus being on the last day. Okay. And what I want to kind of do is I'm saying, okay, now that I've got these kind of lined up, I want to check and see if I can eliminate any of these options. So is there anything here that I can then say, oh no, that's not a thing that's possible to do? Okay, so let's take a look at that, right? So the first thing, Hermes, right? Or this first possibility, this would make Zeus have to be Jupiter. Is that possible? Can Zeus be Jupiter? Yeah, okay, so that's okay. So we can't eliminate that one. Second one would require Hermes to be the god of war. Is that possible? Yeah, we haven't eliminated it yet, so that's possible. It would also require Venus to be Jupiter, and that's not possible, right? Those are in the same category. They can't be the same thing. So this is not an option. And if Venus can't be Jupiter, that means that Hermes can't be war. Because if Hermes was war, that would require Venus to be Jupiter, and we just said that can't happen. So we can get rid of that one. All right. Next one, checking this one. Can Zeus be the god of war? So let's check Zeus. Yes, Zeus could be the god of war. Okay, so we can't narrow that one down any further, but we've at least made some progress here. All right, so now what I'm going to do is, again, I'm going back to these clues, right? And now I'm going to take this Mercury and Thunder one, and I'm going to tie that in with this first clue. Okay, so same kind of idea, right? It could be that Mercury's first, and then Hermes is the god of thunder. Or it could be that Hermes is Mercury and Zeus is the god of thunder, right? Or it could be that Zeus is Mercury and Venus is the god of thunder. Or it could be that Venus is Mercury and the next person after them is the god of thunder, right? I ran out of room a little bit there. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to check for contradictions. So can Hermes be the god of thunder? Can Hermes be Mercury? Let's check. Okay, so can Hermes be the god of thunder? So here's Hermes, here's thunder, that's possible. So we can't eliminate that one. Can Hermes be Mercury? Yep, that's possible. Can Zeus be thunder? Zeus, thunder. Yep, we haven't eliminated that yet. Can Zeus be Mercury? Yeah, that's possible. Okay, can Venus be the god of thunder? Yep, that's possible too. Right? Can Venus be Mercury? No. Right? Those are in the same category. They can't be each other. So I can at least eliminate this one, but that really didn't help me narrow much down. Okay, well, then I'm going to do the same thing with these last two. So I'm going to tie these last two clues together. Okay, so it could be that Mercury is somebody who comes before war, and then this is thunder, or Mercury could be war. Mercury could be war, and that's thunder, or it could go like that, or it could go like that. All right, so let's check. So comparing this here, could war and thunder go together? No, those are in the same category, right? So that's out. Okay, could war and Mercury go together? Well, here's Mercury, god of war. Nope, we eliminated that one. So that one's out. This one, could Jupiter and thunder go together? Jupiter and thunder. So here's Jupiter, here's thunder. That one's possible. Can Jupiter and Mercury go together? No, those are in the same category, right? So this one's also out. So the only possibility is this one. So Jupiter is going to have to be thunder. And I now know that Mercury is going to come between war and Jupiter. So when I come back up here, I can say, okay, this X is now Mercury, right? And Jupiter is now also thunder. So this X is now Mercury and Jupiter is also thunder, right? And then over here, this is thunder. That's the same as Jupiter. Thunder is same as Jupiter. Thunder, same as Jupiter, right? Okay, so now I'm going to go back and check these clues again and see if that helps me at all. So let's go back up here. Can Hermes be Mercury? Well, when I look at this, yep, that's possible still. Can Zeus be Jupiter and thunder? Yep, that's possible. All right, this was our only other option. Can Zeus be war? So Zeus, can Zeus be war? Yep, that's possible. Can Venus be Mercury? No, right? They're the same category. Venus and Mercury are both Roman gods. So this can't be true, which means this one has to be true. Okay, now that is going to give me a lot of information. Okay, first of all, it tells me Zeus has to be Jupiter and the god of thunder. So Zeus is Jupiter and the god of thunder. It tells me Hermes has to be Mercury. So Hermes has to be Mercury. And then remember, this whole thing we set up because we were talking about days. We were trying to figure out what days of the week they were. This is telling me this is the first day of the week. War is the first day of the week. Hermes is the second day. Zeus is third. Venus is the last day of the week. So I can go to war and say, okay, war has to be on a Tuesday. Hermes/Mercury is on a Wednesday, right? Zeus is Thursday. And then Venus is on Friday. Okay. And then that's going to let me fill in a few things, right? This one's clearly got to be checked because that's my only option here. We said Hermes was on a Wednesday. So that means that Mercury must be on a Wednesday because they're the same. That means this guy has to be on a Tuesday. Okay. War was on a Tuesday. So Mars is the god of war. Let's see. Thunder was on a Thursday. So I can check off Thursday here. That means this one's got to be checked off, and this one's got to be checked off. We're really making a lot of progress here, right? Thunder goes with Thursday. We already got that one. Poetry goes with Hermes. So I can check this guy off. All right. And do we have anything else that we can fill in? I don't think so at the moment. Nothing easy. So let's just check back here one more time, right? We determined then that Zeus is the Jupiter or thunder, right? So this one's out. This one had to be true, so that gave me Mercury. We already had that one. Okay, so I think that's about all I can do with these guys. So now I'm going to go back to my other clues and see if I can button down the rest of this. Zeus was the day after Hermes and before Venus. We got that one. Aries was either war or Jupiter. Aries, well, we know Aries can't be Jupiter, right? Because we already figured out Zeus is Jupiter. So if he's not Jupiter, Aries must be war. So there's that one. So Aphrodite is love. Does this give us the information that we need? Here we go. Okay. So Friday goes with love. This one goes with love. So there's those days. This is Friday. This is Friday. So there's that one. And there we go. Let's check my answer. Yep, got it right. Okay. So again, this one was like a little bit more complicated. I thought this was a good like kind of stepping stone up into the harder problems. And the big thing was just coming up with some sort of a system for me to take notes and sort of figure out what happened. You could theoretically do all of this in your head and figure this out. But I found that just writing something down really just made it a lot easier for me to kind of keep track of what's going on. So hopefully you found that helpful.